자, 여러분 안녕하십니까?
Everyone, greetings. This is Ilya, and I'm happy to be your MC. And we're joined by 6 expat panelists to share a special love for Korea and Seoul. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you.
그리고 오늘을 각오 한 말씀.
So, could you introduce yourselves briefly and your results?
大家好，我是来自中国贵州的一名苗族女孩。 이미 다 이해하셨나요?
So, did you understand everything? Of course. Hi, I'm from China.
강리즈라고 합니다.
I'm Kang Liz.
반갑습니다.
Nice to meet you, everyone.
지금은 한국에서 방송하고
So I'm doing broadcasting work and some internet-related work with my Chinese audience. I'm very empowered to take part in today's conference. I'm convinced that we can beat this thing, COVID-19.
We can. 자,
좋습니다.
Good,
Hi, my name
great.
is Code. I am not really from a specific country, but I'm representing England today. 제 이름은 안코드입니다. 특히 어느 나라에서 왔다고 하기 참 예매한 상황이지만은 일단 오늘은 영국 대표로
So
나왔고요.
for today's purposes anyway, I will say I'm representing the UK. My name actually happens to be misspelled today, but it's a common human condition. Well, everybody can make mistakes. It's all right. It's all right.
특이하신 분이시네요.
Okay, a very special intro. Thank you. Thank you.
자, 줄리아 씨.
네.
About you, Julia.
모니면 율리아 야만 소아메스타. 안녕하세요. 저는 핀란드에서 온
Hello, I am Julia from Finland.
자리를 참석할 수 있어서
I
너무
am
행복하고
very happy and thankful to be able to join everyone here today. Thank you.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Rose et je viens de France. 안녕하세요, 프랑스.
Hello, I'm from France. My name is Rose.
오늘의 방송은 많은 분들에게
I think today's conference will be, and I hope it will be helpful to lots of people. Thank you.
Goedemorgen dames en heren. Ik is Zino van Zuid-Afrika. 안녕하세요 여러분.
Hello, everyone. I'm Zeno from South Africa. The fact that I'm just sitting here on the stage is such a big honor. South Africa, yeah, maybe I would like to take this opportunity to introduce to everybody what's going on there.
안녕하세요. 저는 네팔에서 온
Hello, I am Sujan from Nepal.
그냥 지구인이라고 표현하겠습니다.
I'll just say I'm a fellow Earthian. So nobody, well, everybody is the same, right? We're all mortals from Earth, right? I was just inspired by Angkor. So I'll just say I am one of you living on planet Earth. Very happy to meet everybody here. I'd like to thank everybody from Seoul Metropolitan Government for this great opportunity to communicate. I hope everybody has a great time.
여기 무대가 참 재밌네요.
This is quite exciting. I don't know if the audience members will know, but this is a 360-degree panoramic stage. It's very special, and I think it's quite special that we are invited here. So, Cities Against COVID-19 Global Summit 2020, Together We Stand, is an online international conference hosted and organized by Seoul Metropolitan Government to discuss ways to overcome the COVID-19 crisis and to discuss countermeasures ahead. It will proceed for the next 5 days, together with 120 participants, including mayors and experts from key cities around the world. And it will be broadcast live through YouTube. So this is day one. We're going to look at where we stand today and take stock of developments in and outside of Korea. So I'm very excited and quite nervous about this big event. So why don't we start our discussions? But before that, let's take a look at some of the images that we have prepared in advance. I'm so excited. And you will see some images of keywords.
포스트 코로나라는
Okay, post-corona
잖아요.
stands out.
자, 진우 씨, 포스트 코로나 어떤 의미인지 알고 계시나요?
So now then, Zeno, do you know what this means, post-corona? So now post means it's afterwards, right? So then I would imagine that now because of the coronavirus,
말씀이 아닌가 싶네요.
how our lives have changed since then. So I think it's about that. Yes, so our society, culture, everyday life, indeed. So we see a lot of changes. Now then, by country. By each country, what's the situation like today, and also what are the new things and what are the things that have disappeared. So let us talk about that. So now then, starting from BG. Yes, in China, this is how we greet each other. Hi, ni hao. But then now, we are just greeting each other like this, with our mask on. Like football, huh? Yes.
화난 상황이면 안 되겠네.
So you shouldn't be angry, right?
차면 막 뒤돌아할 수 있잖아.
So you shouldn't really kick each other.
프랑스에서도 우리는 뽀뽀.
Right, in France, we also have the culture of kissing each other and also shaking hands. I mean, they were polite, but then now, I heard from my dad recently that it's just 1 second. So you're like, hello, and then we're gone. Because you don't want the other person to kiss you or shake your hand. So it's like, hello, and then you just run away. So they say that saying no to greeting each other could be seen to be rude. Because now if you don't want to shake the hand, then the other person might be upset. Like, do you think I have COVID? And also in Finland, Finland is well known for sauna. And yes, Finland is sauna. And perhaps this is something personal, but then now in Korea, there is no Finnish style sauna, so I go to the hot spa room every week. But then now, because of COVID-19 today, I cannot go anymore, so I had to stop for a while. So now that is a bit frustrating, being a Finnish. Then what about Nepal?
이 시간에서
Now in Nepal, as we speak now, then
안 들어갔잖아요.
now Korea never had such a lockdown, right? Because we were able to maintain our normal lives. But then Nepal is still under a national lockdown, and there is no knowing when this is going to end. So people have pretty much lost their everyday life. So like my mother, I talked to her yesterday over the phone, and she forgot the day of the week. So she is just staying home all the time, so she doesn't know what to do on what day. And also in the regions, only select households can go out on select days. And now they say that it's very difficult to get sugar and milk these days because Nepal has a tea drinking culture. And because people are staying home all the time, now they're drinking tea like 6 or 7 glasses a day.
자, 근데 이제 우리가
Right, we understand. Yes, but I see that in each country, they have different ways of dealing with this, right? So in the case of Korea, let's say if it is like 99%, I mean, it's close to 99% of the people who wear masks. So perhaps it's different in other countries. So let's say between the East and the West, so either in Korea or China, well, we are used to wearing masks already. So they say that they always wore masks. But then now in Europe and the West, they're not used to wearing masks. So they're well known for not wearing masks. What do you think? Well, here I would like to use this opportunity to actually dispel one misunderstanding about France. Because in France, there is the perception that if you're wearing a mask, then you're sick. But what it's like is that it's not that they're not wearing masks, but they cannot wear a mask because now at the onset of COVID-19, we had shortage of masks. They had not enough supplies in hospitals either, so not enough for patients either. So they had to send all the masks to the hospitals. So then for the French citizens, they really could not be sold masks. They could not be supplied masks. So then a lot of people were saying that, well, how come the French are not wearing masks? I hope people would stop saying that because we simply did not have masks to wear. So now a lot of people have made it their hobby to make their own mask. They make their own mask at home and they also donate them because there's a big shortage. My sister is living in Spain. She couldn't get masks and she had to go out for grocery shopping, and now she had nothing to wear, so she just made something out of her underwear and put it on her face. Oh, now talking of underwear, now in South Africa also, we had no culture of wearing masks. We couldn't get them. So we also started making them at home. And yes, some people used their clothing, like socks, right? Of course, new socks, I hope. But anyway, so they can cut socks in a certain way, and then they could immediately turn into a very comfortable mask all the way to covering your ears. And also in Finland, we didn't really make masks. But now Finland has a lot of trees, a lot of forests, so now they are saying that they're using them to make masks. In China, China is well known for a widespread culture of masks. Yes, for fine dust, when there is fine dust.
아이디어 생각났어요.
But then yes, now I got a good idea for masks.
위생대를 서서 정말 마스크.
You know, like women's sanitary napkins. So I saw that on the news, so they would actually wear them as masks. But then
쓰는 걸로
the situation is much better. So now they say that masks no longer have to be worn. Well, I think perhaps around the world, mask wearing culture could spread. Yes, and now then to wrap up the discussion, not just masks, but then I think the know-how of disease control in Korea and also the know-how and also the support and help coming from Korea. So a lot of the Korean know-how was introduced to other countries. And I think some of them could be followed because of different characteristics of the countries, and some cannot be followed for the same reason. So instead of just simply criticizing other countries, perhaps we should be more understanding of each other, of the different culture and the different circumstances. Yes, very true, very true. All right, now then, we will continue with this discussion with the foreign panels. And now we are going to invite a very special guest, the one who has planned and organized this event, and that is Vice Mayor 1 of Seoul, Vice Mayor Seo Jung Hyup. Please welcome him with a big round of applause. Yes, this is the Seoul way of greeting. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Yes, nice to meet you.
인사 멋있다.
Nice to meet you. Cool. Cool greeting. And also, yes, foot bump. Yes. This is the Chinese greeting.
스시기로 인사를 하고 싶은데
I want to do the French greeting, but I will hold myself. Yes. Yes. Please all sit down. Yes, thank you. Now, yes, Vice Mayor, welcome. And if you could say a few words of greeting. Yes, hello. No, I get to meet celebrities. I've seen you on TV, so I'm very nervous. We are more nervous. So it's great to see you here. So we're all new to each other, right? Yes, but then I have also seen you on YouTube, so you don't feel new to me. And we've also done the rehearsal earlier. Right, but I still have to follow the script, so we are new. Now then, there is someone who was particularly eager to meet you, and that is Ankon. Yes, very special, but you can't really exaggerate. And you're like the boss to the boss to the boss to the boss to the boss of mine, because I am doing a live radio program on TBS. So I do this every morning on call, every morning on TBS. So you're very active. I have seen you on YouTube doing busking. Oh, thank you, thank you. Maybe you should actually come to see my performance, but now not these days, not these days. Yes, maybe you can do online busking. All right, now then, Julie, in Finland, I understand that the trust in government is very high, so is it true? Yes, I would say that it is true. It's quite high, strong faith. And yes, I am from Helsinki, and now Helsinki being the capital of Finland, so yes, the Helsinki Vice Mayor is also a very important person, and also the city people really have strong trust in the mayor and the vice mayor. And now, of course, Seoul being such a huge city and meeting the vice mayor is such an honor. Yes, also an honor for me, and it's been a few years since I visited Helsinki. So how did you find Helsinki? Oh, it was a great city, and also the vice mayor of Helsinki, I also met him somewhere else in the San Francisco meeting. That's great. Yes, I am also a citizen of Seoul. So, yes, so it's a great honor as well. So highly meaningful. All right, now we have prepared a lot of questions And we can be free in our questions, right? You're not going to attack me, right? No, just out of curiosity. Out of curiosity. So yes, I look forward to a good discussion.
아까도 이제 부시장님이 여기 들어오시기 전에 우리 여러 가지 이야기.
So we were discussing lots of keywords before the vice mayor joined us on stage. So anything that made a big impression, as you heard from backstage? Well, what Susan mentioned actually left a big mark. We have actually heard from the international press stories about cultural differences, how there were some incidences that arose due to that kind of cultural difference. Hopefully, through COVID-19, we can become more understanding toward each other and our differences. Yes, I think it will definitely be hopeful. We have different people from different cultures represented here today, and I think just us talking and the things that we discuss will help overcome those kinds of differences. And so, thank you for preparing this kind of venue, as it's a very meaningful summit. Thank you. So everything's good. Then
이 행사는
today's CAC Global Summit 2020. So how did you come to plan and organize this conference? In the case of Korea, we had our first reported case of COVID on January
축하드립니다.
19th or so. I think that was the first day that I reported to work as the Vice Mayor for Administrative Affairs. So it was a coincidence. Now, I know that Seoul and Korea has won a lot of praise about such a good job in terms of COVID response, and we've had a lot of requests for information and for help. So over the last 2 months, there's what's called CLC, or CAC. We created this new English platform, Cities Against COVID-19, and we uploaded all of the relevant materials and documents on that site for the purpose of information sharing. So that's good, but rather than just sharing information one way, I thought, although it's a conference call, having this type of meeting, sharing information face to face as we prepare for the era of post-corona, we thought that would be meaningful. And that's how we decided to organize the Global Summit. So the English platform actually has commanded close to 6 million views, I heard. Yes, lots of people have actually visited the platform. So we actually maybe help spread, we'll be able to spread the word further. Yes, you are influencers and celebrities. And so maybe a lot of your friends will now be guided toward the platform and they can go take a look later on. Yes, hopefully. So this is a 5-day event. So can you explain more about the program? So we're going to have the pre-summit with you today, and then starting tomorrow we'll start 11 sessions. And so this disease control and prevention is a key theme, and then climate, environment, education, transportation, many different dimensions will be discussed. And so each of the different sessions will invite academics and renowned scholars and speakers for each of the sessions. And tomorrow we're going to have the mayoral meeting of the Cities Against COVID-19. I hope that a lot of you join. Because solidarity and cooperation between the cities is very key. Because we're essentially in the same situation, we should work together in the fight against COVID-19. I think it will be a very meaningful event where we discuss what can be done together as cities. And hopefully, we want to introduce an intercity network or an international organization that is united in the fight against COVID-19. Hopefully, this event will help. And Mr. Jared Diamond, he is the author of Guns, Germs, and Steel, and he actually has a lot of interest in Korea as well. So he's going to have a special talk session with our mayor, Mayor Park Won-soon. So I think we can look forward to a lot of insight from the two gentlemen tomorrow. So will we meet you, Vice Mayor, tomorrow or later? Well, I'll be joining you backstage, helping with the prep work, so maybe backstage. So I will be there. Don't rule out seeing me again. Come seek me out, and I'd love to have coffee with you guys. So it's a 5-day program. Can we come back any of those days? Of course, you are always welcome anytime. And there's one thing I'd like to know. When I first came to Korea, I came as an exchange student.
외국인 유학생들이
And a lot of the exchange students, I was scared that maybe if they went home and then flew back to Korea, maybe, there would be an increase in confirmed cases. Or there was a lot of perception that maybe a lot of the foreign students would be infected. But I heard that fortunately Seoul was very good about control, and there weren't that many infections as we had feared, right? Actually, early on, regarding the foreign students, we did have some concern. And so inside, I was hoping that maybe the students would take their time to come back to Korea, and maybe they would be spread out instead of coming in all at once. That was what we were hoping. But the foreign students, really, I want to thank all of you, Why? Well, because they were very good about control, checking their health when they came in, and then after coming in, also they were very good about adhering to the basic protocol. They joined in the social distancing campaign really well. And so from the inbound foreign students, in terms of confirmed cases that report positive, well, we did not even have a single case of one of these foreign students testing positive. And there's a play on words. 확진자, it means, it sounds similar to confirmed case, but it means confirmed case of somebody who suddenly gained weight. But fortunately, some people may have gained weight, but nobody tested positive. And we had discussions with a lot of the universities to provide temporary residence for some of the students who didn't have a place to go, for example. And then after the students came, there was one-to-one monitoring, where staff from the city maybe would call them up and say, "Are you well? How's your temperature?" Just to keep track of them. And there was a lot of support. I know some of my friends were studying at university, and after hearing what they received, I was thinking, oh, maybe I wish I was a student all over again. And we got a lot of these alert SNS or text messages, right? And sometimes, I was tired because there were so many text messages coming in. But then I think for a while, it seemed there was a long lull, and there weren't many cases at all. And then maybe that was when people became too relaxed, a little bit complacent. I think most recent development has really put us back on guard again, and that kind of alert is quite helpful. So actually, we have 400,000 registered foreigners. And we actually are vigilant about sharing all the information that we have by translating into 11 different languages. So where somebody was found to be infected, that kind of movement or the travel log type of information is shared in different languages. And all the foreigners are also informed of what they can do if they have some symptoms, for example, the screening, the testing sites, for example. What languages? Chinese, Japanese. I think all of the languages that are represented here today are good. They're all covered. What about Finnish? I don't know about that, but personally, let me ask.
한국에서 중상했으면
No, what I feel appreciative is that foreigners also can get tested for free if you have symptoms. So I really appreciated that. Yes, now for COVID, it really knows no boundaries between Koreans or foreigners. So whoever had symptoms, then you could get tested right away for free. Well, thank you for that then. Thank you.
아무래도 이태원인데
Now then, again, now foreigners, a lot of them live or go to Itaewon, and that's where we had a new outbreak recently.
혹시나
Now, personally,
걱정 많이 하셨다고
maybe you were also concerned about foreigners getting infected there. Well, yes, Itaewon is a place that is highly frequented by foreigners, and also
걱정을 많이 했고요.
it is well known for its clubbing culture.
방문독이라 그러죠.
So yes, I was a little bit concerned, and also you had to give your contact information on the list, but then we thought that there would be more than on the list. So of course, likewise for Koreans as well. But anyway, so we contacted them all. Were they cooperative?
그렇게 협조적이
Well, initially, yes, they were cooperative, but then not all of them responded back. So we had to keep contacting them both in Korean and in other languages. So using GPS tracking and also credit card usage. So were you able to do all that? Yes, so we were not able to find the person right in the club, but then those who were nearby the club, so we were also able to find them. So we tried to find as many as possible, and if they had no symptoms, then perhaps they were okay, but then if they had any problems or symptoms, then we asked them to go to the screening center right away. And also some of them might have been reluctant to get tested, so we also allowed anonymous testing. I think that's very important. Yes, very important. Yes, I think that was very wise.
안 간지 되게 오래됐고
Well, it's been a while since I've been to Itaewon, and especially so since the incidents recently. But then now, yes, the MC, Ilya, he is a resident of Itaewon.
태원이 우리에게 왔구나.
So I wonder what it was like. Yes, so Itaewon has come to us. Yes, so I live in Itaewon, and also, yes, during the outbreak, I also went to the screening center to get tested, came out negative. Anyway, so I would say that the system itself is really well developed and working very well, because we were able to maintain social distance even at the screening center. And I can see that at least by the system, there's really no loopholes. And now, as we experience COVID-19, the most important thing is to track them as quickly as possible and also find the contacts as quickly as possible to have them tested as well. Right, because even if I'm okay, or even if I get COVID, maybe I would be okay, but then I might infect others and they might get very sick. So, right, so we also need to have this sense of responsibility. Right, now then we would have to let the vice mayor go. Yes. That was too short. We are sorry to let him go, but anyway, so any parting words? Yes, once again, it was great meeting you, and not only until June 5th, even afterwards, my doors are always open, so you can come see me anytime for a cup of coffee. And also, I did mention earlier, but Seoul was able to fight off COVID and also now is known as an international best practice case. Of course, a lot of factors were at play, but I would say that the most important was the civic spirit, people's voluntary participation. And now Ilya also mentioned that it's like 99% of citizens are wearing masks, which is not an easy thing to do. So we are taking care of not only ourselves, but others too. And also, during social distancing, of course, we want to go out, have good food, and enjoy others' company. But a lot of people stayed home so that we can take care of each other. So I think this kind of spirit is very important. And also what Seo Jung mentioned is epidemics know no borders. It cares not about borders. So misunderstanding or exclusion against people will not help at all. Solidarity, cooperation, I would say that they are the shortcut to fighting off COVID-19. Now then, through this online conference, I hope that we will be able to have a wealth of discussion so that we will be able to beat off COVID-19 and also prepare for post-COVID. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the long-winded parting words, which was excellent. So thank you, and very encouraging words too. Thank you very much, Vice Mayor. And also, yes, very short way of saying goodbye. Thank you. Yes, that was the Vice Mayor of the Seoul Metropolitan City.
자, 계속해서 이제 우리는
All right, let's move on.
네, 계속해서 얘기를 하는데
Yes, we are going to move on, and we're going to have even more interesting and lively discussions because we're going to connect with citizens across the world in real time to hear what's happening wherever they are. This is being live streamed, so if there are any hiccups or patches that are less than smooth, we seek your understanding. Can you hear me?
Can you hear us well?
听得到吗？哦， 네.
네, 좋습니다.
All right, that's very good. I think they can all hear us, and I think they are watching very carefully what we're doing. Let's start with Liz. Your younger brother is online.
네네네.
기대가
在哪？
된다.
So why don't we get connected now?
在哪里？啊，
나 아니야.
동생 묘주 전통
오케이,
의상
오케이.
귀엽다.
전통
哦 so adorable. Yes, he's in a traditional costume.
老弟听得到吗？啊，你给大家就是打个招呼吧。
Hello, everyone.
잘 못 들리는데.
啊，我们现在지금 아마 뭐
Oh, I think
조금 소리 조금 안 들었는데 제
볼륨
동생
올려주세요.
이름은
the volume is not on, but anyway, so his name is Kang Moon-jang.
那
Great to meet you.
现在国内的情况怎么样啊？你给大家就是分享一下，还有我们就是家里那边怎么样啊？
就是贵州省的话，就是很配合，开放宽敞的地方，然后大家都是
等一下，好像有点听不清，好，说的조금 안 듣는 것 같아. 좀 가까이, 你靠近一点说。
能听吗？现在？
好，说大声一点啊。
어떤 네.
저 이것만 알고
现在
있어요.
贵州
형이 질문해줘요. 형이 질문해주고.
可以。
자, 잘 안 들립니다.
네, 잘
우리가 지금
Well, unfortunately, we can't hear him clearly. So now then, what? Can you just briefly tell us what he was talking about? Now, yes, in our hometown, which is the province of Guizhou, and he's saying that the situation has improved quite a lot. So people are no longer wearing masks. So
되게 안정화되어 있고
Guizhou province, now it is in the southwestern region, and it's quite stable. So now a lot of the cities and regions, people are not wearing masks, so we can just go out whenever we want. But then now there are some health codes. So for example, where you go, then you have to show the code and you scan it. So once you scan it and pass, then you can go anywhere.
남동생에게 지금 누나가 한
So then can you ask whether he was worried about his older sister being in Korea?
我现在在韩国嘛，你有没有担心我在韩国？就是有担心我吗？
아닌 것 같은데.
아닌 것 같긴
그냥
한데
얼굴로
Maybe not. Maybe not.
자, 안 들립니다. 이거 기다려줘도 의미 없을 것 같습니다.
Well, we can't hear him, unfortunately, so I think waiting would be meaningless. Yes, I did ask him earlier, but he said that he is not worried. He's not worried. Maybe because your family, so...
세계에서는 제일 안
Well,
좋은 곳이 한국이
to be frank, Korea is one of the safest places on earth right now, so... Yes, and also because things are under control now, and if you're staying home or if you avoid crowds, then you're okay. So my brother was saying that he's not worried. Okay, then.
지금은 연결이 약
All right, now because we've had some problems with the connection, now then let us leave China, and then
얘기를 드리고
just I would like to comment once again that
귀여워요.
네, 귀여워요.
his traditional costume is so cool and so adorable.
就是跟大家说一个加油吧，
쉐쉐!
加油，加油。
귀엽다. 자, 그러면 다음에 이제 안고
All right, let's move on to Ankor's older brother. I hope the sound is okay. What country are you in now, and what's your situation? Well, my older brother is in the U.S. Because all of my family members have moved to the U.S. So he's living near New Jersey in the States
부인과 애들 두 분.
with his wife and two kids.
되게
그래서
So the situation is very serious in the U.S., isn't it? Yeah, not very good.
Hi, honey.
Hi, honey.
Hey, honey.
Can you hear me?
Honey.
Wait, we need to check
Hey,
if we can
honey.
hear you. Can you speak up?
I think so. I can speak up.
Nice.
마이크는 내려주시면 더 좋을까요?
볼륨 음향팀 볼륨 올려주시면 참 감사하겠습니다.
Yeah, can you put up the volume
Okay.
for Honey?
Can you hear me?
Beautiful, beautiful.
아 그러면 현재 미국 거기 계시는
All right, so New Jersey, what's the situation there? We would like to know.
Dissect on what's going on in New Jersey right now in regards to coronavirus, please.
Okay, so quite a lot of people died. A lot of people got sick.
많은
A lot of
사람들이
people worried about it. Everyone's wearing a mask. It's very polite. Wear a mask. But people are starting to hang out again outside.
Oh no.
There's a lot of social activities in gardens. Not so much indoors.
Okay, let me
People
translate
aren't
that. That's a
going
lot.
inside
That's a
and
lot.
building together.
Let me translate that. That's a lot for one take for me. So 이해하셨던 분들도 있겠지만은 제가 뭐 놓치면 알려주세요. 일단 사람들이 일단 사망자가 되게 많고 확진자가 되게 많고 많은 사람들이 되게 겁을 많이 먹었던 그런 시기가 길었지만은 그런 거에 인해서 마스크를 끼는 게 완전 그냥 예의고 그냥 당연한 올바른 행동이라고 다 보고 있지만은 여러 주변 그 마당에서 이웃들이 마당에서 그냥 그 작은 파티들을 하고 있는 정도로 그렇게 격리는 있긴 하지만은 밖에 조금씩 나가기 시작된 그런 시기래요.
되게
How was
그러면
that translation? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, that was great.
잘하고 계시는. 그러면 동생이 이렇게 몰고
So, are you not concerned that your younger brother is so far away?
Are you
worried?
about your younger brother living in Korea? Do you have any concerns about that?
No. We think the Koreans have a pretty good system. The testing there was much better than here.
한국이
The
여기보다
data
미국보다
you're
더 좋았다.
collecting- Yeah.
한국이 미국보다 더 잘 테스팅 이런 거 다 잘해가지고 사실 그런 의미로 우리 동생에 대한 걱정이 크게 없습니다. Sorry to interrupt you, honey. I just want to translate quickly.
No, that's great. No, I feel like Korea may have experienced a lot of cases earlier than us. So most likely it's a safer place there now than it is in New Jersey.
아마 한국이 미국보다 먼저 이런 코로나에 대한 현상을 과하게 느껴가지고 그런 거에 대한 반응이 더 빨랐기 때문에 아마 지금 당장은 한국이 뉴저지보다 더 거주하기 안전한 곳이 아닐까라는 겁니다. I really enjoy your new American accent.
I'm just trying to fit in, you know?
원래 발음이 영국식인데 오늘 방송을 위해서 일부러 미국인 발음 인척을 하고 계십니다 지금.
잘하고 계십니다. 그럼
safe,
마지막으로
though.
혹시 응원의 메시지, 그러니까 미국 사람한테랑 한국 사람한테 응원의 메시지가 있다면 전해주세요.
Do you have, for lastly, to finish up, do you have any kind of last words that you want to send a message to the people in America and or the people in Korea? Something you want to say before we move on?
Yeah, the world can change, and we've all had to change. So this is an indication that maybe some of the things you thought would never change might change. The world can change and carry on existing. It's possible. It's okay. Let the world change a little bit.
자, 통역을 갖다 세상이 바뀔 수는 있다. 저희가 여태까지 절대 세상이 바뀔 수 없는 그런 부분이 있다고 생각했지만은 세상은 괜찮을 거고 우리는 적응을 할 거고 우리가 예상하지 못했던 그런 부분에서도 우리가 진화를 할 수 있으니까 크게 걱정하지 말고 우리는 다 같이 변화를 적응할 것이다. 이런 말이었습니다.
네, 상당히
멋있어요, 정말.
멋있어요. 예, 멋있는 말을
That's my
해주셔서.
brother!
네, 자, 미국은
맥주 마시고 있어. You have a beer in your hand.
자, 미국은 잘하고 있는 것 같고요.
So it seems the U.S. is doing okay. Then let's go to the other side of the earth, to the Himalayas, because we're interested in what's going on in Nepal, and I think we're already connected. It's Susan's friend.
자기 소개 부탁드릴게요.
Yes, my friend. So now, can you explain yourself?
Namaste.
Can you hear me or not?
Namaste.
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 So is it okay you talk in Nepali or should we continue in English?
English is better.
Okay. So just, like quick introduction of yourself, what you're doing.
Okay, cool. First of all, namaste everyone, and regards to all the speakers, panelists, and world representative present here. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me. I'm very glad to be part of this effort. I've enjoyed and learned a lot from the speakers. And I am Diwa Shrestha from Nepal, Kathmandu. I've done my master's degree in development studies at an Australian university. And I'm here in Nepal right now.
예, 반갑습니다. 그러면 현재 네팔 상황에
All right, then, great to meet you. Then, can you tell us a bit about what is going on in Nepal? So, are there a lot of confirmed cases, and also, really, on the ground, what is the situation like?
What is the condition right now in Nepal? Are there lots of victims, like rising in number, or how's everything there in Nepal?
Okay, the government announced the nationwide lockdown on March 24, and it's still going on. Today is 70th day of lockdown. So, according to sources, according to the sources, current coronavirus has reached 1,567, with the total deaths at 8 and 220 recovered. Total in quarantine 81,078, isolated 1,173. Total swab test 66,725 out of population of 30 million.
So what about you? How's your day going these days? Like you're staying out home or doing anything else?
I'm staying at home, and since I work in a school, it's our school is Adyan School, and it primarily focuses on design thinking and technology. So this school is backed up by an IT company, and it was transition for us to going to online school was pretty easier and comfortable than other schools, mainly due to the digital divide. And so we're working from home, and we're just doing everything online, like teaching online and everything.
Okay.
그러면 3월쯤에 이제 인도에 살고 계시는 네팔 분들이
Now then, a lot of Nepali in India have all flocked back to Nepal, starting at the end of March. So then, were they all able to safely go back home? Can you ask that question?
Around March, there was this problem happening. Like lots of people working in India had to come back to Nepal. So like the territory disputes and everything was very harsh, I guess, at the time. So right now, like what do you think are the people from India, like they are coming back to Nepal, or is Nepal government doing anything to, like keep the territory and disputes like okay for the time being? What is happening?
Okay. Yeah. A cabinet meeting on March 29 decided to allow all the Nepalese stranded on the Nepal-India border to enter the country for one time, on the condition that they remain in quarantine for 14 days. Okay. However, even though they were allowed to come back to Nepal, there was no public transport or any agency present to take them from quarantine to their home.
Okay, so they are stranded at time being. They are not being able to enter, right? So.
Well, they are being able to enter, but at the same time, there's no exact data on how many Nepalese are in India. And unofficial figures, however, says that there's about 50,000 Nepalese trying to come back home. And apart from being stranded on the road, trying to get back home and having no transport, food or water, and also complicated by ongoing border dispute, I hope they are safe.
혹시 번역은 좀 하시겠어요?
통역이요?
통역.
네. 일단은 그 인도 상황을 좀 알아봤어요. 인도랑 네팔은 이제 우리 가까이.
So just some translation, yes. So he was talking about the border problem. So now the Nepal and India, it used to be an open border. So transmitting was not difficult. But then because of COVID, now India also went into a lockdown. So now there are a lot of Nepali were working in India, and now Indian situation turning for the worse all of a sudden. So now they wanted to come back home, but then now the Nepali government also were not really helping them. So then, yes, of course, the vice mayor also mentioned this to make it easier. So they needed to create a channel or create a mechanism that would be easier for them to come back home, but then they were not able to do that. And also, so not even information about the exact number of people there, right? Right, so it was difficult to know how many were there, and also people found it hard to come back, so people couldn't really leave and still on the street, a lot of them. So very unfortunate then. Now, Korea, we see that Korea is doing a relatively better job, so a lot of countries are now looking to Korea for Korea's example. So now then, any message from Nepal to Korea?
Korea doing so much good in this, pandemic situation. So, is there anything you want, to learn from Korea, or is there anything you want to ask, any favors or anything from Korea that would be important for Nepal to, continue and get rid of this pandemic?
Before asking any help or saying anything, I would like to tell you what kind of difficulties is Nepal facing.
Okay.
All right, and even though Nepalese are trying, can come home and stay, from the borders, and they're staying in quarantine. I've told you that there's no transportation service, and even though they are able to come in, they have to pay about 10 times more the actual fee.
Oh my God.
And most of the people are walking hundreds of kilometers, days to reach home without food and water.
Wow. Sounds unreal.
코로나보다
They have to stay in overcrowded.
Okay. So I think the situation in Nepal and India is very worse these days. Yeah.
조금 이제 들어보니까 코로나 때문에
Right, now then, listening to the explanation, it's not Corona only, but the situation itself that is actually quite difficult. Right. So I asked what help Nepal needs, and then rather than asking for something, he wanted to give more explanation about the situation. And he mentioned that those coming back from India, they also had to go into self-quarantine, but they're not able to do that because a lot of them are workers, and for them to come back, then they would also have to spend like 10 times the money to go into self-quarantine, and that's a lot more than they are making. So they would just have to stay near the border, and there are also some temporary shelters near the border, so they would just have to stay there for a while. But then now, since we have been in lockdown for over 70 days, so now in one shelter there have to be only 20 people, but now they're quite overcrowded. Close to like 100. Yes, so we see that the situation in Nepal is quite dire. All right, now then, thank you very much for that.
And hope things will get better.
Nice
Thank
muscles.
파이팅. Good luck.
네. 다음은 이제
Yes, so next we will go to a YouTube influencer, Emily in Germany.
자, 여기는 영어가 필요한데
So we need English. So Susan, can you help out with English? Oh, why shouldn't we get a British person to do that? Well, can you introduce yourself first and tell us what's happening over there in Germany?
Hi, Emily.
Hi.
Thank you.
Can you please just shortly introduce yourself and let us know how is the situation of Corona where you are?
Of course. Hello, my name is Emily. I'm 20 years old and I'm a student. I'm studying currently politics and economics of East Asia with focusing myself on Korea. And currently the situation in Germany is, well, before German people were against wearing masks, so they never wore the mask going anywhere. And after the coronavirus situation in Germany got worse, they started to wear masks in public transportation and markets because the government told so. So this was it was made a rule, so it was really good. And nowadays, German people are not against wearing masks, which is actually very good. And they only don't wear masks when they go out to take a walk or just go out with friends. And yesterday, Well, before there were only allowed like 2 people to go outside together.
Oh.
And from yesterday, it's now like 10 people can go out together.
Okay, let me translate that quickly. It's a lot. So, 자기는 제 이름은 에밀리고 20살입니다. 지금 독일 상황에서는 일단 간단하게 말씀드리면 마스크 자체라는 게 처음에 완전 익숙되지 않아가지고 어느 순간 때부터는 그냥 사람들이
Yeah, so at first, people were not used to masks, so they didn't ever wear masks, even if they knew that COVID-19 was serious. But then now it's become part of the routine. And then before, say when you were going out on a walk with your friends, just 2 people or so.
머리가 돌고 있네요. 자, 그리고
Yeah, my head is going crazy. Sorry with the translation. There were rules in the past that you could only go out with 2 people. Oh, but then effective as of yesterday, just yesterday, the restrictions were eased, and now it's up to not 5 people, but 10 people. 10 people are now allowed to congregate in one place. They can gather in one place. So among European countries, Germany actually had a very high number of confirmed cases, like Spain and Italy. And then there was this mass infection at a logistics center in Germany around the same time that we had a similar incident here in Korea. So what has been the response by the German authorities? What kind of policies have been implemented for that mass infection? Yeah, so logistics center? What is a 물류 center or logistics? Oh, distribution center, right?
일리아 씨가 하실 수 있을 것 같은데 이거.
So Ilya, maybe you can do this.
솔직히 말씀드리자면 방금 살짝 멍 때렸어요.
So I actually zoned out just a little bit. Sorry about that.
It was that you guys just had an outbreak in the logistics center, just as we did here in Korea. How that happened and how the government is responding to that right now?
Well, I actually don't know, because suddenly there was like one city, like Germany was quite safe, and then suddenly one city there was a breakout. I think 2 people met someone from China, and suddenly there was a breakout. It's actually quite close to my city, and after that, at first, like the breakout was quite strong, and Germany was at first like scared, so they didn't know how to react. And the government started like to close everything. So the bad thing was that people started to lose their job quite fast. And the second thing was like people were started like many people worked at home or didn't work at all, and then they didn't get paid a lot or only 50% of their money. So a lot of people had a difficult life. But nowadays, I have to say, like 1 week or 2 weeks ago, like suddenly everything got normalized and people know how to deal with it, and the government like told us to, of course, wear masks and then stay at home. So the internet is used very well. For example, my university is also only online. So because of the internet and like Germany started to deal with it very well, it got better, and people now are not scared of it anymore, but they now try to deal with it quite well, to accept it, I say.
서로 누가 통역하나? 그러면 제가 반하고 반해주. 제가 놓친 거 있으면은 일단 그 제가.
Yes, so help me out if I missed something. But as far as I understand, there were 2 people that came into contact with somebody from China. So that's how the infection started, and the moment the first cases started, it really took off very quickly. People had to close their stores, go out of business. They lost income. Maybe it was reduced to 50% or so. So it was a state of crisis. And then I'm going to pass on the next part to Ilya for the second section translation. So I think Germany, I think, is also doing very well, like Korea. So thank you very much. That was very helpful to hear about Germany. But now we're going to come back to Asia. So Malaysia is on the line. We're going to link up with Khairul, a hotelier.
간단하게 자기소개.
So now if you could briefly introduce yourself and also tell us a bit about what is going on in Malaysia.
Speak English though.
Please let us know about Malaysia. Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Please introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about the Malaysia situation.
All right. Hi, my name is Khairul. I'm from Malaysia. Selamat pagi to everyone, which is good morning. So right now, Malaysia, the situation here on the ground, we're currently doing quite okay. Since the start of, I think around 18 March, we had our first lockdown. We call it the Movement Control Order. So in short, it's MCO. So it's going on for 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, the government will consider whether to extend or to end it. So right now, we're currently on the 6th phase of the MCO itself. So
Okay, I'm going to translate up to here. My friend. Sorry. We're going to take breaks now. 일단 말레이시아 상황은 사실 어떠냐면은 3월 10.
The situation in Malaysia is that starting on March 18th, so they have been under MCO and they would be updating this every 2 weeks. So depending on the gravity of the corona situation, they are going to decide whether they're going to extend this or not. So then, since March 18th, it's been now on the 6th phase of MCO.
Hi, you can continue.
Right, so for the 6th phase right now, we change it to the what is called conditional movement control order. So right now we're starting to loosen up, starting to generate the economy again. Offices start to open, but we do follow the new normal standard operation procedures. So restaurants itself, you need to keep your separations, make sure you keep your social distancing and whatnot. Yeah.
자 일단 이제 새로운 약간 단계 새로운 시기는 이제 사무실들이 문을 대충 조금씩 열기 시작.
Right, so now then a new phase. So now some of the offices are getting open, but then now let's say for restaurants or entertainment areas, then you still have to maintain social distance. So a new guideline that we all have to follow as the COVID situation is getting better. All right, thank you very much for that. And now because of the time, then we would have to conclude our online chat at this time.
But thank you so much for your information.
All right, thank you so much.
못하신 분들은 양해 부탁드리고요.
And I apologize to those of you who were waiting, but we unfortunately didn't have time to cover everyone. We just have 2 minutes left. And so last impressions from the panel members here. Why don't we take turns and hear some last remarks? Liz? So China is becoming much more stable and the situation is improving. But if you listen to what's happening in other countries, it's really very unfortunate still. I hope that the other countries will really see recovery from corona very quickly. And I hope that we can all go back to our daily lives as normal as quickly as possible. Yes.
통역의 기술을 많이 키운 것 같아요.
I think I have become much more skilled in the art of translation. I got a lot of good practice here. So I was using my brain a lot, knowing that I had to translate. So personally, that was very interesting. That's just me, though. But COVID-19, I thought that the situation would be much more severe in each of the different countries. But then from what we have heard, although
소식들이 많으니까 사실 저희
things we have heard is not everything, but it just seems like there's more hope. Things are looking up better than I thought. What about you, Julia? The situation, I think, does vary significantly from country to country. In Finland, honestly, we got a lot of help from Korea. So the testing specimens, for example, were sent over to Korea, and then the test results would be sent back to Finland. And so we're very thankful for that. And the world really has to step up together, and I hope that we can overcome this thing together. As I'm very appreciative, and I just wanted to say, things have become a little bit better, but it's not over. Let's keep our masks on. Let's wash our hands better. So let's beat this corona thing together. So I'm sorry I wasn't able to share more about the situation in South Africa, but so together we stand. That's the one thing that just occurs to me. As long as we stand and work together, I think we can do this. And what about you? I've been listening, and I know that there are 5 more days of this event. I think we'll be able to really gain a lot of information insight about the post-COVID-19 era. I hope everybody looks forward to key takeaways that are waiting for you during the rest of the program. Thank you about that. You're going to get live streaming of the proceedings for the remaining 5 days, so please join in until the very end, until day 5. And with that, we're going to say goodbye. Thank you. Bye.
감사합니다.